larger-than-life bearded character, dressed in a red suit, flies around the world in just one night before sliding down chimneys to deliver presents for all the good boys and girls on Christmas Eve. But in lying to children about the existence of Santa Claus, are parents causing more long-term harm than good? In an article published in the journal Lancet Psychiatry, 2 psychologists are raising concerns about the Christmas tradition. They suggest that lying to children could undermine their trust in parents, as a result, leaving them open to abject disappointment. Kathy McKay, a co-author of the article, warns of the potential for children to be harmed in these lies, advising parents to take the long view approach. The Santa myth is such an involved lie, such a long-lasting one between parents and children, that if a relationship is vulnerable, this may be the final straw. If parents can lie so convincingly and over such a long time, what else can they lie about? The article's lead author, Chris Boyle, is critical of parents who use Santa Claus as a parenting tool to control children. He warns against levying an ultimatum, threatening no presents for Christmas if children misbehave. But despite their findings, both Psych Grinches acknowledge that they too play along with the Christmas tradition of Santa Claus's existence with young members of their own families. Boyle assures readers that he's not planning to go through the streets of England dropping truth bombs on children about Santa Claus. For FoxNews.com, I'm Rob Demetrius.
Hello everyone, and welcome to another Fowl Original with me, Fowl Original. That was from Fox News, and that was all about Eden Brian. That was all about a little old guy called Jolly Old Saint Nick, who you may know of him, Kris Kringle. It's Christmas time almost here in Fowl Original land. I'm going to be getting, as I said, I'll be letting you know about how you can get your hands on one of these Christmas cards. Look, listen, like a wobble board. Tiny kangaroo. Actually, that has implications I didn't mean it to know. But, what is it, my drawer? The Fowl Original Bureau. Welcome to Fowl Original Newsround tonight on the 29th of November 2018. I feel like I'm holding up a newspaper to show what I do at some point during Metro Moments. Our top story tonight. Trump's ex-lawyer, Michael Cohen, admits to lying to Congress. He admitted it. If you'd like me to admit that I'm lying to Congress, then you can go to fowloriginal.com. Feed. When you get to fowloriginal.com, you will see my big old bird face. If you see my big old bird face, you can go ahead and click support the channel. When you click support the channel, it'll take you through to two options of donation. You can go led to the PayPal donation or become a Patreon. A PayPal donation, the most popular. If you click that button, as I said, it will take you through to a PayPal donation page. You can go ahead and say, give me $5 and sit with me, everyone. Make some monthly donation to help support my content on the regs. As Fowl Original Newsround, Fowl Original Wrestling, and all the other bits and bobs of stuff that are going on the internet. What is in my bag? A bag of Doritos. Tonight's episode brought to you by a half-eaten bag of Doritos. Given to me by Chin Man, actually. Chin Man, good guy. Friend of Fowl Original Network. Go check out his Instagram. Tell him Fowl Original sent you. And if you're making a one-off donation, you can go ahead and say, I am Chin Man. I am the Chin Man. I am the Eggman. I am the Walrus. Anyway, that was a quick ad break. Trump's ex-lawyer Michael Cohen admits lying to Congress. Now I've got a packed show tonight to get through. We've got Twitter time, we've got Metro moments, but this, it's so delicious, isn't it, everybody? Now, this was on BBC News today. It's our top story right now. Michael Cohen says he lied out of loyalty to Mr. Trump, while the president says he's weak. Amazing. We'll talk some more about Brexit on Monday, but let's talk about this. Let's talk about this story. So let's take it to the bbc.co.uk. And US President Donald Trump's former lawyer Michael Cohen has admitted he lied about a Trump property deal in Russia during the 2016 election. Cohen pled guilty to lying to Congress. He said he did so out of loyalty to Mr. Trump. Mr. Trump said his former right-hand man was lying to prosecutors in the hope of receiving a reduced sentence. A special counsel is investigating Russia's role in the 2016 election and whether Mr. Trump colluded with it. In August, Cohen pled guilty to violating finance laws during the 2016 election by handling hush money for Mr. Trump's alleged lovers. which some of those allegedly being Ms. Daniels, a storm coming. What happened in court? Appearing unexpectedly before a federal judge in Manhattan on Thursday this morning, Cohen 52 pled guilty to one count of making false statements to Congress. It's a really big deal. He said at the hearing that he had submitted a false written statement about a Trump organization plan to build a skyscraper in the Russian capital. I made these misstatements to be consistent with individual one's political messaging, and out of loyalty to individual one, Cohen said in court. He has previously identified individual one, Mr. Trump. Niaz, what is going on with you, mate? It looks like Trump is Teflon. He is. I am rubber. You are glue. You stick to me, and I stick to you. Sticks and stones break my bone, but words can paint a picture. Cohen was interviewed in October. That's the story. Cohen was interviewed in October last year behind closed doors by lawmakers conducting their own investigation into whether Mr. Trump's campaign worked with Russia to sway the election 2 years ago. According to the criminal complaint, he told the Senate and House Intelligence Committees that talks over the Russian Moscow project had lasted from September 2015 until January 2016, while Mr. Trump was running for the White House. But the criminal complaint says that, as Cohen well knew, negotiations over the Moscow project continued until June 2016. Cohen also told lawmakers that he had limited contact with Mr. Trump about the project when it had in fact been more extensive. Prosecutors said Cohen had tried to give a false impression that the Moscow project ended before the Republican campaign properly began in 2016. That's another big deal. There's an overlap between Russian interests in Mr. Trump and Mr. Trump's interest in the presidency and Russia's interest in the American presidency. In a press scrum outside court, Cohen said nothing to reporters, but his lawyer said, Mr. Cohen has cooperated. Mr. Cohen will continue to cooperate. Up until now, he's been a tangential figure in Donald Trump's Russia-related headaches, but sharing information with a special counsel about Mr. Trump's special business interests, including efforts to build a Trump Tower in Moscow, which, according to the former presidential lawyer, continued well into Mr. Trump's presidential campaign. So there's going to be a lot to digest from all of this over the next few days. What did Mr. President Trump say? As he left the White House for a G20 summit in Buenos Aires, Mr. Trump told reporters of Cohen, he's a weak person and not a very smart person. He's got himself a big prison sentence, and he's trying to get a much lesser prison sentence by making up this story. Fake news! Mr. Trump told reporters of the Moscow real estate project, which never came to fruition, when I'm running for president, that doesn't mean I'm not allowed to do business. Wow. He added, he's lying about a project that everybody knew about. I mean, we were open with it. Soon after those remarks, Mr. Trump abruptly cancelled a scheduled meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin in Argentina, citing the current Ukraine crisis. So that's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. And what else has he admitted? He once famously vowed he would take a bullet for Mr. Trump. But in April, his home and office were raided by the FBI. In August, he said he'd been Mr. Trump's personal lawyer for more than a decade, and he pled guilty to 8 criminal charges, including tax evasion, bank fraud, and campaign finance violations. He said he paid hush money to 2 women who alleged they had affairs with Mr. Trump at the direction of the candidate, implicating Mr. Trump. Undisclosed payments to bury embarrassing stories about a political candidate can be treated as a violation of US campaign finance laws. True. In September, Cohen's lawyer said his client had been providing critical information to special counsel Robert Mueller's investigation. And what else is going on in the Mueller inquiry? And that Paul Manafort has also filed that his prosecutor said that he lied, breaching a plea agreement. He's pled guilty. So all of those people that during South Park were being ripped apart for being like abused, like abuse victims of domestic abuse by Mr. Trump, they've all now said, yeah, so we want out, please. And the president reportedly denied a political associate, Roger Stone, had tipped him off that WikiLeaks would publish hacked Democratic emails, and said he had no knowledge of a 2016 meeting at Trump Tower between his son and a Russian lawyer promising dirt on Hillary Clinton. Mr. Mueller has already brought criminal charges against a series of former Trump aides and associates, including his former National Secretary Advisor, Michael Flynn. Russian individuals and entities. Inquiries ongoing, but no hard evidence of any collusion between the Trump campaign and Kremlin has been so far produced. I have never, I think, in my life, my lifetime, thought that. We'll get back to the others in a second. I've never thought that I would be in a situation where I'd be looking at the president of the United States and thinking, like, it's this. They keep it's this in The Wire. There's an episode of The Wire. Gonna quote The Wire here. So when the dude that whistles, I can't remember his name now. He has a scar on his face, and he, that dude, yeah. Omar, yeah, Omar. So Omar, and he says, if you're gonna come at the king, you better come hard. Something to that effect, anyway. Anyway, I'm ruining this. I'm ruining this. But they're like picking off every single one of the other people. So it's like Mueller's like, hey, you go to jail. Do you want to go to jail for less time? Well, we knew this day would come. So yeah, cool. What do you want to know? Like everything. So like, yeah, you know Trump. Yeah. Oh, I got a story to tell you. And every single one of them had a story. And it's until it gets to Trump. And like, how long is into his presidency now? 2 years, yeah. So I guess we got 2 more years of Trump, 2020. Yeah. If he could, I think he could stay. I think he could survive in office until. I think he can survive in office until. I know they're Lansford. I think he can survive in office until the end of his presidency, and it will be the most embarrassing presidency in the history of the American democratic system. It really, really will be. But it will be so funny. Like, his highlights package will be amazing. When he ends his presidency, it will be like the end of Big Brother. He will be like the winner of the ultimate reality TV show, the ultimate popularity contest. And he probably will get re-elected, Brian, because he'll be like, well, what else are you gonna do? Like, I'm waiting, I'm hoping, yeah, like, I'm hoping that the next few years, this is from what I think, yeah, I'm hoping the next few years, like, we've had people like The Rock that are saying that they're going to be looking for election in 2020. I just want, yeah, like, now that we know that the presidency is basically for sale, and it also would go to the most popular celebrity, would have been Arnie. I feel like Arnie would have got it if he could, if it had been changed, if the constitution had been changed. I'm very surprised, yeah, and I guess that I'm not surprised that Trump didn't make that one change. Like, if he could do anything, the whole like not being actually American born, I think maybe nowadays that would be a bit of a harder sell because of terrorism, but and Homeland and stuff. But yeah, and I'd love The Rock. Can The Rock? Can we just like do some cross promotion? Can I do Newsround and talk about The Rock in 2020? Can we talk about The Rock's political campaign? Like, I don't want Will Smith to win. Yeah, I feel like Will Smith's gonna want to go for it. Yeah, like, what else has he got to do? But I really, really, really would really love, yeah, to every night be talking about The Rock and be like, The Rock was in Little Rock, Arkansas. Cheap pop. Every scene, every time you went to, you just have to say, finally, The Rock has come back. His whole campaign's already there. Yeah, it's already there. And you can see everyone voting for him. He's strong, successful, self-made man, superstar. Let's hope for The Rock in 2020. Or Chris Rock in 2020. I'll take Chris Rock. Either, or, and. If you want to help my re-election campaign, then you can go to fowloriginal.com. If you segue, you can go to fowloriginal.com. If you go to fowloriginal.com, you'll see my big old bird face. When you see my big old bird face, you can go ahead and click support the channel. When you click support the channel, it'll take you through to a PayPal donation. Right. Take you to a PayPal donation page or a Patreon, and click the donate button. You will get through to a PayPal donation page, as I said. As it loads, you can go ahead and say, give me $5, and say it with me, everyone. Make this a monthly donation to help support my content on the regs. That's Fowl Originals Newsround, Fowl Original Wrestling, and all the other bits and bobs that I do on the internet. If you make it a one-off, let me know. Did it for The Rock. Now that is what we call cross-promotion. I'm back. Now, as I said, packed show tonight, so we're going to slip straight into, oh, if we can do it, and I think we can. Oh yes, Fowl, you can do this. Now, I think you'll be, like, I didn't get a chance to use this the other night because of reasons of not being ready, but welcome to the all-new, brand new, and clock wipe and clockwise. Metro moments, everybody. Metro moments. Look, do you like the new? Like, I had this ready yesterday, but I didn't have a copy of the Metro. Now, let's have a look at the chat here. So, Niaz, I don't know what's going on with you, mate. But if you want to send me a message in Insta, something, but this is the Metro. For those of you that don't know where Metro moments is, and I feel like this works a little bit better. When I've got the two cameras, that's what I wanted to do today. I wanted to show you a little bit of a special thing that I wanted to try. So, I'm going to redo Metro moments, but I'm also going to give you, do this properly. There you go. Hopefully this will work. I was never brought to school because I'm Ugandan. What is newspaper? What is newspaper? I'm actually, thank you for joining us from Twitch there, Troy TF2, yeah. Thank you for, if you want to follow on Twitch, as I said, if you want to help support the channel, like, share, subscribe. If you're watching on Twitch, thank you very much. If you don't know what a newspaper is, I'm going to show you what a newspaper is, yeah. See, this is my second camera. Now, if this works, yeah. Let's find one of these. There we go. Oh, yeah, there we go. So, if I, let's see. So this is newspaper. Yeah, look. This is, oh yeah, it works. This is newspaper. So this is the Metro, as you can see, yeah. Now, normally I would read this from my face and you wouldn't see the newspaper. But hey man, yeah, like this Metro moments, everyone. I'll figure out how to do a picture-in-picture at some point, but thank you very much, Brian, yeah. As I said, messing with the format. So this is the first page of it. Can you see? Like, this is classy now. It's a classy way. I'm going to drop this water. Oh, there we go. So this is the Metro. So as you can see, today's Metro. The Metro, as I say, is a free newspaper that you get on the bus. that you get on the bus. And actually, let's just show you a little behind the scenes. Look. Anyway. But yeah, Payday, Spectacular, do get it. Anyway, definitely. So the front page of the Metro. This is newspaper. It's newspaper, Troy. This is newspaper. And we've got Iceland here. But from Hell of Syrian War, this story in particular really, really like. How can I blacklist your channel? Oh, Troy, you can try. Oh, Troy. You could try to blacklist my channel, but I just keep coming back. That's the problem. Anyway, so this story really, really like it. It's a story about some attacks from some kids, and it's a teenager. A teenager who fled a Syrian war zone to find sanctuary in Britain says he has been left crying at night over the bullying he has suffered there. That's so sad. The 15-year-old spoke out as anger erupted over footage of a classmate waterboarding him. God damn the kids, man. A boy of 16 was charged with assault yesterday over the latest incident in Huddersfield, and more than 100,000 has been raised for the GoFundMe campaign. I don't know how good this is going to be, actually. We need some more light. Oh. This will. Let's do it. Maybe this will do it. Maybe that'll do it. But yeah, Syrian boy. So anyway, let's just. Because this, you know what, yeah? You know why I'm doing this? This is what they've done in the actual news. Fowl Original is becoming more real as it is. But anyway, so this story, and I'm going to show you. Oh, anyway, we just go through the Metro, so let's go through the Metro. Now, we have a story about Star Madden from The Bodyguard. I'd love to be Bond. Good for him. Pay attention, 007's. M's gun to face is to fetch a pretty money penny. Smart, like it. This story also absolutely horrified me. Grooming gang victims horror that rapist has rights over son. This girl was raped by a gang of men who groomed her at the age of 15, plied her with alcohol and drugs, and here she is speaking out, saying that now the guy who raped her is this guy here, Mr. Hussein, is in jail for 35 years. But he's still being given choices about parental issues. It's really, really, it's the fact that he has visitation rights over this child, and she's saying that now he's getting this kind of fantasy image that he was like innocent, and now she doesn't want him to have any kind of contact. And councils are saying that this happens all the time, and it's just part of it. And it's like she's trying to raise awareness to stop this happening. That's pretty cool. Now, also we had oh, this is a fun story. I thought that was Boris Johnson's brother, but sorry, son, but it's actually his brother. So that's Bo and Joe. Yeah, Bo and Joe. Now, Bo and Joe in brotherly falling out of a forecast. Basically, they're fighting about who wants to be the next prime minister. It's quite funny. The second Brexit vote may be unavoidable. We talked about that yesterday during Brexit. The banks are all like, ooh. So, also Tesco's. If you go to Tesco's, yeah, if you're having a party, check out these prices. Look at that for a box of Quality Street. It's £4. It's not bad at all. £10 for a box of Budweiser. I'll take that. And this is a continuation of that story. Bullied boy's sister tried to take her own life after taunts, after she had her headscarf pulled down and stuff. As you can see, look, they just beat the hell out of him. One of them punched him, and then they started beating the hell out of it, and they videotaped it, yeah, for posterity. This is like the goddamn kids that came after. This is it, yeah. The kids these days. And oh, hello, what's this? Oh, it's Kate Middleton at a funeral. So it's not that fun. 5 hounds rescued after 4 days in 20-foot mine shaft. They got the dogs out. Who let the dogs out? The fire brigade. We also had some very overtly scary stories. Yeah, so like suicide bid by Primal Scream, star like why I tried to kill myself. Oh, it's a bit much. Well, introducing the Chicken Big Tasty. I don't know about the Chicken Big Tasty. I do like it. I like the idea of it. As long as it's got bacon on it, I think I'll be cool. But I feel like it doesn't have bacon. And if that's the case, yeah, I'm not happy. Why are you besmirching the Big Tasty name? But then there's the Big Tasty with bacon over here, you see. So I'm liking the Big Tasty with bacon. I'm not a big fan of this thing over here. Don't know what your thoughts are, folks, but this is what the Metro does to me in the morning on the way to work. And what else we got? 60 Seconds with Aid Edmondson from Bottom. I saw this as well. I opened this in front of an old lady. It's Magic Mike Live, yeah. Abs fab. Look at those beefcakes. Look at them. Kevin Nash not in sight. Kevin Nash not pictured. Too busy counting his money. As you can see, look. It's like is this a strip show? Is this just a seductive nail? I don't know. Stuff about, now this is a story which we're going to talk about in Twitter time in a bit, but it's a big uproar that happened over Nick Knowles, pictured left over here, not wanting to pick up some wet underwear from a clothesline and asking Mr. John Barrowman to do it because he is a gay. But he is the best gay of all time. I bloody love John Barrowman, yeah. I just have to say this. John Barrowman is one of my favourite men of all time. Fact. But also a story about, this is I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, which is a TV show over here, which you may have seen. And it has Z-list American celebrities and even lower celebrities over here. But Nick Knowles has been doing all right, and Barrowman is there, and Noel Edmonds. Oh, what fun. Also, Ivanka talking about her email being private, not being the same. And Fury as Trump's son-in-law receives a Mexican honor. That's a fun story. Also got some stuff about wine. Hello, there's a lot of Aldi wine here. Gene editing maybe on the way. And I think, and this is my funniest headline from the Metro today, cow-hating son loses a will fight for £1 million farm. Cow-hating son loses will fight. So this son here is the cow hater, and he wants this farm. He ain't gonna get this. Oh, sorry. He ain't gonna get this farm. He ain't gonna get very farm because he's not having it, because he hates the cows. And when you hate the cows, yeah, you're not allowed to have a farm. This is why here. And that is another episode of a kind of how I wanted to do it, but we'll see how it works. Yeah. How I'll do this. An episode of Metro Moments. Metro Moments. Metro Moments. I love having the 2 cameras set up. It's so fun. Anyway. back to the show. So let's take you into our next segment for the day, the last segment of our evening before we wrap up the show for the week, and that is dum 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 dum. That is where are we? Oh, we are, and it is this that I messed around with and I forgot that I did that, which is actually this. If I do this, then it is clock wipe. It's always trying, it's trying. Twitter time. Twitter time, everybody. It's Twitter time here. I don't want to do that. It's Twitter time here on the Fowl Originals Newsround. And Twitter time today. It's funny stories on Twitter time. Let's get straight to them. First of all, no, you got clock wipe. Sorry. Woman jailed for opening Pringles can in store before paying, from the Irish News. Kathleen McDonough, 25, opened a tube of Pringles in a Tesco supermarket store, which she had been previously barred from in Cork, Ireland. Security saw McDonough and told her to leave the store. She offered to pay, but was refused. She has been jailed for 2 months. In other news, from Ricochet, 2 months in jail for opening a tube of Pringles. Woman jailed for damaging a €1.50 tube of Pringles. Pregnant newlywed is jailed for 2 months for opening a tube of Pringles. She's pregnant as well. I don't know why that is part of it. A pregnant woman who opened a £1.33 tube of Pringles in Tesco has been jailed for 2 months. Kathleen McDonough, 25, ripped off the foil lid. A security guard refused to let her buy it and ordered her to leave. So that's interesting. She was barred and not even permitted to pay the £1.50 to buy the crisps. Don't mess with Tesco. Jailed for criminal damage to 1 packet of Pringles. He asked Judge O'Shea to be lenient, given his client was 5 months pregnant. The judge locked her up anyway. How many corrupt bankers went to prison again? The story of the woman opening the pack of Pringles just keeps getting bizarre. Apparently she was pregnant and newlywed. Fair enough, she'd been causing trouble for a while, but jail time for 2 months? And this may be true, but it's a total waste of taxpayers' money, bad use of the prison system. Pregnant woman was hungry. Grocery store banned her, so she opened a can of Pringles to purchase it. Talk about a frivolous case. I understand there's more to the story than the headline suggests, however, come on, TIFF. And then Metro, she had been previously banned from the store. And of course, someone had to make this joke. BBC Radio 1, once you pop, you can't stop. So that's first story today in Twitter time. Twitter time. It's funny, right? It's funny, yeah. Also, in Twitter time, but we have mentioned this in the news as well, but very quickly, President Trump cancels meeting with Russian President Putin at the G20 summit. The meeting between the two leaders, which was scheduled for December 1st on the sidelines of the G20 summit in Argentina, was cancelled by POTUS, citing the Ukraine-Russia conflict. And there's a picture. There is, that just tells a million words. It's okay, Vlad. We'll let it blow over. Allegedly. Also, as I said, we were going to talk about it in Twitter time, but I'm a Celeb News. I knew we'd be talking about I'm a Celeb. I'm a Celeb News, but I'm a Celeb started a debate about homophobia and women's pants. From I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here this morning. Nick Knowles said he was embarrassed to handle the recently washed underwear of his female campmates as he was old-fashioned. He asked John Barrowman, who is gay, to move some knickers out of his way. Some viewers found the assumption that a gay man can handle women's underwear to be problematic. Nick Knowles, there he is. I'm just a bit old-fashioned. I don't know why he's done that. Where do you stand on Knickergate? Was Nick Knowles getting in a twist, or was he right to stick to his ways? And then there we go, and there's the rest of everyone. Old-fashioned or not, you still went to the only gay man in the group to do it for you, and that's not okay. Hashtag I'm a celeb. And no touchy, no touch. Nick explaining his awkward situation to John. FFS, which is for fact's sake. For fact's sake. Hashtag I'm a celeb. Nick makes the same mistake many straight men make. And there's a Barrowman fan. Many straight men make, thinking gay equals being a girl. It's unconsciously homophobic. Nick refusing to pick up or touch women's underwear, that is literally a piece of clothing, but allowing a gay man to do it is literally the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. I'm confused. Hashtag Nick Knowles is being praised for not picking up a young lady's knickers, but he just assumed it was okay for John Barrowman to pick them up because he is gay. And then Emma, here you go. Oh, John Barrowman, I effing love you. Why is it seemingly okay for a gay man to pick up women's knickers, but not a straight man? I do respect Nick's view. I just think it's interesting he asked John. And then the press would have been so pleased to get a pic of him holding a pair of knickers. That's the sort of stereotyping they go for. Don't blame him for being careful. Sorry, but I'm with John on this one. What's the difference between him as a gay man and Nick as a straight man? Picking up a woman's knickers just to put them on a washing line. There's not exactly any sexual connotations to doing laundry. Hashtag I'm a celeb. Also, in Twitter news, Canada sanctions 17 Saudi nationals linked to the Khashoggi killings. So Foreign Affairs Minister Chrystia Freeland says Canada is imposing sanctions on Saudi Arabian nationals linked to the murder of journalist Jamal Khashoggi. She made, their fashion boss, KTM. She made the announcement in advance of the G20 summit in Buenos Aires. Canada has imposed sanctions on 17 nationals. The move effectively freezes the assets of these individuals in Canada and denies them admission into Canada. We continue to call for a transparent and rigorous accounting of the circumstances surrounding Mr. Khashoggi's murder. The explanations offered to date by Saudi Arabia lack consistency and credibility. And that's it. That's it. And their listing also renders them inadmissible to Canada pursuant to the Immigration and Refugee Protection Act. So they can't even turn up if they want to get ask for asylum. That's insane. But a really big move, a really strong move, massively strong move by the Canadians over something that the Americans are like, no, it's fine. It's not fine. It's not fine. All right. And lastly, two more in Twitter news even. Kind of a sad story, but I felt like we had to mention it, which is Time cover details the heartbreaking network of parents with kids who died in mass shootings. The world moves on, but you don't. There's just one of the devastating quotes in Time's profile of parents who lean on each other because they share the same tragedy, a child murdered in a school shooting. And as you can see, these are just a very, very small cross-section of the parents who have lost children in school shootings all over America. And this year especially, that number being massively, way more than it has been in previous years, and it becoming like the whole nation being numb to it. But the Time showing parents, and this is and Time, not being afraid to stand out amongst the pack, and I do kind of appreciate that a lot. Joe English here with a quote: "It's a club you spend your whole life hoping you won't ever become a part of. Incredibly palpable report by Haley Bureau, Luscombe Beland, and A. Ferguson on the ineffable bond between parents who lost children in school shootings." And that quote, "The world moves on and you don't." And devastating quote: "Shootings have become so common that they have the response down to exact science. Who's ordering the pizza? There's a protocol. Rhonda Hart, whose daughter was killed in May in Santa Fe, Texas. And my kid, I used to have a good life, a blessed life, but it's ruined now. My kid is dead." Andrew Pollock, whose 18-year-old daughter Meadow was killed in Parkland. And then people don't think about all the ways lives are affected. There's this huge ripple effect of violence and anger and dysfunction. We show up and look in these parents' eyes and say nothing except, "We get it. We get it. You feel like you're dying. You feel like dying. Like you can't believe you're not already dead. I know that feeling. You're not alone." Sandy Phillips, whose daughter was shot in Aurora. It's a really powerful piece of journalism that we do talk about fun stuff here all the time, but I really think that you should look into that. And lastly, into the Time, bring it right back up, because we can't leave on something like that. That's too much of a downer, which is in our continuing coverage of the game that I can't play yet because I don't have the technology to play it, and I'm going to play it on the PC. I'm not playing anything else. I'm PC Master Race to the end, even though I have a PS4 controller running somewhere. But to the end, continuing Red Dead Redemption news and Clockwipe. Boats are spawning in the streets on Red Dead Online. Absolutely fantastic. Absolutely amazing. Since the introduction of the online beta, some Red Dead Redemption players have encountered boats appearing in the streets of St. Denis for no apparent reason. There's a boat. There's just a boat. This is a boat. There's just, look, there's just a boat. It just happens to be a boat. It's fantastic. It's a boat. Why is there a boat there? Why? Why not? Is what we should really be saying. But also, why? You see, look, welcome to Red Dead Online. A bunch of boats in the middle of the road in St. Denis. Someone lose a boat. Here we go. Tried to do a race. Got booted to the other side of the map where 6 boats seem to be blocking the street. It's great. It's great. Like, I'm really jealous of everyone who's playing this game right now because I'm really down for being a cowboy. But yeah, like, you can't go anywhere because there's boats everywhere. The glitch in St. Denis, boats everywhere. And then boats everywhere. I'm on Red Dead Online for a day and I'm already being thrown off by my horse by magic and seeing the streets of St. Denis littered with blown up boats. The hacks didn't take long. Glad to see Red Dead authentically representing the great boat calamity of 1899, a plague in which identical boats rained from the sky for 13 days and 13 nights because God was mad at the Americans for industrializing. And yeah, boats are falling out the sky. And when cinematic mode goes wrong, well, that's the story. With but that is our continuing footage and keeping up to date on Twitter with Red Dead Redemption Online. If you'd like to help support the channel and all the little bits and bobs of stuff that I do on the regs, then you can do that quite easily by buying Red Dead Redemption 2 for me. No. We're going to fowloriginal.com. If you go to fowloriginal.com, you will see my big old bird face. When you see my big old bird face, you can go ahead and click support the channel. When you click support the channel, it'll take you to 2 options. There's a donate option to become a Patreon. Click the donate option, you get through to a PayPal donation page, which is, there you go, and you can go ahead and say, give me $5, and say it with me, everyone, because a monthly donation helps support my content on the regs. So that's Fowl Originals Newsround, Fowl Original Wrestling, and all the other bits of content that I do, all over the internets, like Instagram and stuff like that. I will be doing a weekly wrestling recap on Sunday, where we talk about graps, talk about wrestling, and that kind of stuff. But today's top story was Trump's ex-lawyer, Michael Cohen, admits lying to Congress. You can also, as I said, I'm going to be next Monday, we'll be starting the push to, if you want to get a Christmas card, I'm very busy, I want to get a Christmas card, then you can email me and I will send you out a Christmas card, wherever you are in the world. So if you're watching this show and you've been watching it, then this is my gift to you, Christmas. Give me your address. I'll send it out. We sent it out, I sent some out in 2016. So get yourself a bit of exclusivity because obviously I will send you out some other bits and bobs of merch that I've got. What the focus? Other bits of merch that I've got as well. But you'll get a little bit of stuff. But let me know how I can get that to you. Now, as we do with every episode, now I'm guessing that the clip courtesy of Fox News earlier on is going to get us done straight away. So let's keep rolling with it, shall we? So I like to finish every show here with, first of all, a big thank you to everyone for joining us for tonight. Thank you for joining in the discussion. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, smash that subscribe button. If you're watching on Twitch, please follow me, subscribe to me over there. That would be awesome. Also, you can share this out on Facebook or anything that you think people will enjoy this. Also, check out my Instagram for stuffs on there. As I said, you can go to fowloriginal.com and I will be having a whole section on how you can get in touch with me to get them free Christmas cards. And also, join me for, as I said, weekly wrestling recap. You follow this channel and the other channel as well. And thank you for everyone that stayed because I've been watching my numbers and the subscribers on this and on YouTube. Thanks for everyone joining me on YouTube. Big shout out to you folks and also everyone that's watching on Periscope. We go live on back again on Monday. I'm messing with the schedule a little bit. We'll see how that all works out and I'll have a bit more stable for you later. In other news today, just generally, I lost electricity. We lost electricity in Fowl Original's house, shared house, for up until about 5, 6 o'clock, 6, 7 o'clock when I got into the house. So about 5 or 6. When I got into the house, it was back. This show wasn't going to happen. So I'm very, very happy to be able to do it. It's personal aside. And anyway, with all of that out of the way, let's leave you with this actually. It isn't really Christmas yet, but I feel like we should just oh, here we go. This. Oh, not this actually. Whoops. So I'm gonna leave you with.
Right home, it is.
It must be this. It must be this. Here we go. So, as I said, thank you for joining tonight. And this is because it's almost Christmas. We will be talking about Christmas a little bit more in the coming weeks. Yeah, properly. But I leave you with this. Oh, it's too many clicks here. I've got this new wireless mouse here, and it clicks a lot louder, I feel, than the other one. Anyway.
This is blooming well it. Sally-ho! All the little girls and boys.
Anyway,
I've got this sack full of toys.
Briggs and
I'm sure it gets blooming heavier every year. You've got to remember, this day in December is